An all-boys netball team is allowed to compete against an all-girls team for the state title. Now, the all...
Well, I predict that will go very well for the girls.
But they're boys. How are we going to beat 3 boys?
I think they're gonna show what they're really made of and give the boys a run for their money. Let's see if there's anything that comes up in the next few seconds about how the girls did.
Boys team wins every match, running up huge score lines, including a 30-goal victory in the grand final. All the while, parents watch on. They're angry, but they're powerless from the sidelines. Now,
oh, well, the girls lost. In other words, by a lot. Huh. I wonder who could have predicted that would happen.
We have no time, and we are losing. We are losing to girls.
We're not going to lose to girls.
Hey,
I mean, we've all seen the news lately here in the United States about how all these women these men are saying that they're girls and competing in male sports and then winning, typically. I mean, who would have thought that actual girls playing against actual boys, the girls would lose?
Ooh, then bring it on. Oh, unless, of course, you're afraid you might lose to a bunch of girls.
I imagine that the feminazis and the woke progressives didn't think that this would be such a embarrassing loss for the girls, but you live in fantasy land, you play stupid games and win stupid prizes. Hello and welcome to my channel. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We're doing one today for my Australian fans. Hello to all you guys down under. Appreciate you stopping by my channel and supporting my work. I did get a request to look at the Bettina Arndt and Nicholas Bester interview, and I implied that I would do that sooner than I have. There's just been a lot of stuff that's come up lately around that sort of subject matter that I've been putting that off. We'll get to that sometime in the near future. I hope that I can continue to put out 2 videos a week in January. In case you're not aware, I am going back onto campus in January, so I have a long commute, and I might not be able to find the time to do 2 videos a week. Hopefully I can. We'll see. At least I'll try to get 1 video a week for sure. Let's get into this video here and see what else they have to say about the girls playing against the boys.
It all sounds like a bit of fiction, doesn't it? A Hollywood movie. That's exactly what happened at the Queensland netball titles earlier this week, where the all-male Queensland Suns blitzed their all-female competitors to be crowned the Queensland under-18 state champions. Now, it's been labelled crazy and unfair, but Netball Queensland is refusing.
You think it's unfair? Well, I mean, you want to know who the all-time champion is. It's always going to be the boys. Uproar as all-boys netball team beats girls to win state title. What the heck is going on down there in Australia that there's an uproar over this? Who didn't see this coming? Like I said in the beginning.
To apologise. For her reaction, I want to bring co-founder of Save Women's Sport Australasia, Catherine Deves. Catherine, you may have been a netballer in your day. I was. I played mixed netball, but I don't know if I'd like to be in a team of women going up against a team of athletic men. Who in their right mind thought this was okay?
Well, look, I was a field hockey player, but what I'd like to say is that when Netball Australia says this is all about inclusion, who's being included here? Because it's certainly not the...
Everybody's being included, it sounds like. Did you not have enough trans people on the teams? I don't know what you're getting at here. Maybe we should do different ages. We'll have like get the seniors in there too, and then get the middle-aged people and the full-on adults, and then the adolescents and the preteens.
Women and girls. They're being excluded. They're being expected to yet again sacrifice their sports to make sure that men and boys feel included and men and boys feel good about themselves. I mean, it's absolutely outrageous. And
correct me in the comments, please, Australia. I don't know what's going on here. Are the women not allowed to play netball anymore? Is that what's happening? It sounds like they can all play netball, but yet the boys are winning when they go up against the girls, which doesn't happen in a typical league, right? This is just kind of some sort of promotional event. I don't know. I think I'm missing something.
I'm not surprised that the parents are absolutely furious about this, and I am sure that if the girls were asked privately, they would also be very unhappy with what's happening here.
Yeah, you're referring to a statement by the Netball Queensland CEO, Catherine Clark. I'll put it up on the screen for people. She said that we stand by the decision to choose inclusion over exclusion. Let's judge the decision in 12 months' time and see how many boys and men's team we have, because if you can't be it if you can't see it if you can't be it. Now, I've no issue if there's a male competition, but why would you...
Oh, really? I can't be it if I can't see it. Seriously? Seriously. All of human history has been a development of something that has not been beforehand seen. I mean, who decided to stack up bricks and put some sort of clay between them to make them stick together better so that we could have a dwelling that was more sturdy than a grass hut. The guy who couldn't see that, I mean, that didn't exist. First guy did that. This whole notion that you can't be something unless you see it reflected in your race or your gender is just ridiculous. So I have been accused of being Spider-Man. I'm not joking. I have been accused. I have been told during Halloween time, oh, you should come as Spider-Man. You're perfect for it. You got the look. Everything is perfect. I was at a party for children for my work, just hanging out because most of the people my age have children. But I was just hanging out talking to the adults, and they had a Spider-Man there. And on Monday, one of my coworkers came up to me and said, so where'd you get that Spider-Man costume? I'm like, what are you talking about? I was at the party, not in costume. That is how much I resemble Spider-Man. I don't have aspirations to be Spider-Man. I mean, that would be cool, but I'm not going on, I think I'm going to dress up. I've never dressed up like Spider-Man. I don't go around trying to figure out how to climb up walls or anything like that. I do like climbing, but, I don't have a passion for fighting crime. None of this stuff. So, just because you can see something doesn't mean you're going to be that. And just because you can't see something doesn't mean you can't aspire to do that thing.
Have a state competition that's predominantly always been women and suddenly bring the blokes in and have the blokes win the grand final 30 goals to the women's team. That doesn't seem fair to me.
No, when we watch women's sports, we want to see the best women and girls that the world has to offer. We don't want to see men and boys taking up space on the netball court or on the podium. And frankly, I'd like to say to these boys, they should have forfeited. I mean,
okay, so I think I get it now. So the netball team is only female, but then how come there's a male netball team coming in? So I'm still not understanding something. If there's a male netball team that can challenge the females, then why isn't there also a male netball league of some sort?
If they wanted to play netball, they should have done what women and girls have always historically done over the years and decades and centuries of fighting for equality for access to sporting opportunities. And we've gotten out there, we've done the recruiting, we've done the fundraising, we've built our own leagues. And here you have these boys going, oh, I want to be included, so I'm just going to jump on in with the women, and I don't care about their right to fair competition.
Yeah, women have never done that to men, ever. Nope, not once. So my parents were big into clubs, what used to be called men's clubs, the Moose Lodge, the Eagles Lodge, the Fraternal Order of Elks, I believe is what it's called. All of those, what used to be men's clubs, were now open to women because women had to stick their nose into where the men belong. It's the same way with these gyms. There are gyms out there that have a woman-only workout area. Oh, because the poor ladies, they should be protected from working out near the evil baddie men. How dare the evil baddie men work out in the same place that women do? Women have to go sticking their nose into everything and trying to ruin it. We've seen this. They're sticking their nose into comic books and going, there's not enough girl superheroes. It's superheroines, by the way. But, what do I know? I only speak English. And then complaining and then trying to get everybody gender swapped. They came out with the female version of Thor. Why? Thor is already a historical figure. He's been around for thousands of years. You don't change his gender. That doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous.
Don't care about their right to safety. I'm just going to play. So yet again, we're seeing male entitlement, a lovely example of it here from Netball Australia.
Yeah, and of course, women have fought for a long time in AFL to get a women's league up. I mean, if this sort of decision stands, you'd be putting men into the women's AFL league, even though there is already a men's AFL league, and you're taking the cause of women's sport back by decades. I would have got another issue.
Still, this is very confusing to me. You have a men's AFL league and you have a women's AFL league. I'm assuming AFL stands for Australian football. I don't know. You'll have to tell me, guys. I'm not up on the Australian stuff. You got some interesting words that you use for different things, and I'm like, what does that mean? So yeah, I'm very confused. And was this something that actually counted, or was it just like an exhibition going, hey, look, yeah, the men can win against the women, or not, and are the men like the best team on the women's league? That's weird. Why would you do that? I don't understand.
The International Olympic Committee, they've delayed the release of the new transgender guidelines until next year due, they say, to an apparent conflicting opinion. But the IOC's Medical and Science Director, Dr. Richard Budgett, has reassured athletes that the guidelines will prioritise both inclusion and the avoidance of harm. How is it possible to do that if you're going to have biological male athletes, again, compete against women?
You can't do that. So this is all just a pipe dream that they're going, hey, look, we have these cool people that are now no longer male or female, or if they transition from one to the other, well, they don't get to compete, like I've said before. If you want to live this lifestyle, you just sacrifice any kind of meaningful competition. That's just how it works. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you other than I can't do everything that I want to do in life, right? Life is about give and take. Do I want to speak a foreign language fluently? Yeah, sure. Do I want to sacrifice the time it's going to take to learn that foreign language? Apparently not, because I'm not doing it. So there are other things that I have that are much higher priority to me. So if it's very important for you to be a trans person, well, you're just going to have to give up your sports in any kind of meaningful way. You could play as much as you want to, but you're not going to win the gold medals. You're not going to win the sponsorships. Sorry, that's off the table for you.
Well, you can't. Quite frankly, as I've said, when you have inclusion of men and boys or men and boys with a special self-declared identity, women and girls lose out. Now, if you look at the principles of sport, fair competition,
What? This woman is actually speaking common sense all of a sudden. How is that possible?
player safety and welfare and inclusion, you cannot equally balance those. And what the IOC are doing here is they're yet again going to prioritise inclusion and they're going to put the burden of giving up fair competition and safety on women. So it's completely outrageous. And they should just face up to the fact that they are prioritising the inclusion of males and admit it instead of pretending that they're trying to be fair to everybody, because they're not.
Save Women's Sport co-founder Catherine Deeds, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Peter. Have a good evening.
I have nothing against women playing sports. I have nothing against men playing sports. I have nothing against trans people or non-binary, whatever you want to call yourselves, playing sports, except I don't think you should be able to play on a professional level. You shouldn't be able to play in the Olympics or in a academic level either. You can play, for funsies, that's fine. You can form your own little junior league or your own little neighborhood league or whatever you want to call it, your own little city league that isn't televised. There's not sponsorships. It's just you and your friends getting together and playing, and maybe there is some sort of financial incentive there to win because you've pooled your money together, said, hey, the winner gets $500. That's fine. Go ahead and do that. Knock yourselves out. But when you get up into what's called the professional levels, nah, forget that. Just another example of people having delusional ideas about how men and women are exactly the same in every way. And the fact of the matter is, they simply are not biologically. I don't know how many times I can say that, but here we go again. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed, and I will see you in the next video. Have a Merry Christmas.